So you're actively wholesaling coins, you're selling coins to other dealers, then immediately you transition to wholesale buying coins from other coin dealers. Is there a different type of skill set involved, or is it pretty much the same? How did you adjust to that?
I mean, it's definitely a different skill set. It's a lot more competitive. I soon figured out that, you have to really step up your game and be aware of what the levels are and what the market's doing. And, you don't want to go to a show and spend hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars and figure out the market's, going down. So I really learned a lot. And Heritage has a tremendous amount of reports and feedback. And so I'd study all the reports and, see what coins of mine were selling and who was buying them. And, I could figure out, am I making money on this series of coins or this grade of coin? I mean, that's the great thing about Heritage. I could run a report, how do I do buying 3-cent silvers in AU to MS65? I could do any kind of report like that.
So it's like, is 3-cent silvers and 65, we tend to hold longer, they take longer to sell, and we have to reduce the prices, so our margins are small. It's great, it's like Moneyball, right? It's like Moneyball for baseball, or like a Wall Street analyst, you're analyzing the data. And that really made a difference in how you bought coins, looking at all the data?
Sure, I could figure out, hey, I make good money when I buy from this guy, or there might be a guy that I think I make good money off of, but I look at the reports and actually realize, well, I don't, which was really helpful to see, so then I could target, like, these are the guys I want to see first, and, go buy coins from them, and try to stay away from some of these other guys that I think are good, selling me good coins, but so that really was a key to being successful, is kind of really looking at the reports, figuring out how I'm doing, and kind of self-correcting myself.
That's cool. Yeah. Okay. And about what year is this when you're in this role?
This is the early 2000s now.
Okay. All right.
So I wound up really being a face at the national shows now, and I was the guy behind the table at Heritage buying coins, and people would kind of come line up and sell me coins, and I didn't really have to go anywhere. I'd go to a coin show and plant myself in the seat and just not move, and sit there all day, buy coins, and get up and come back the next day and do it all over again.
Okay. So every time I see you at a coin show, I could barely squeak in high, right? You always have at least one or two people. Sometimes there's even a line of people holding double row boxes. Why? Why did they come to you versus all these 1,000 other coin dealers that are out there?
Well, I'm really fair. I'm really easy to do business with. I try to, work with everybody. Everybody has a different style. Like some people, buying coins it's not easy, because some people like to play the game. They market, 5,000, and then they'll negotiate and get it for 4,250. Some people net price their coins. This is what I want. Some people.
It's just different styles of negotiations, a lot of it.
Yeah, so I kind of learned all the intricacies of, how to deal with each different person, and which, again, that was a really important thing, where I'd learn, like, this guy is tough to deal with, and so I have to really, work hard, and this guy's easy. And, so it was fun. I mean,
it's like you have a PhD in psychology.
Yeah.
And with PhD in psychology, a subset specialization in coin dealers, And
it's fun spending the boss's money, that's a lot of fun.
It's great buying coins,
Having the Heritage checkbook is a good thing.
Right. Yep. Yeah, wow. So, when I've seen you, like, I've been to your office, and you always have like a dozen double row boxes at least sitting on a cart. And I think one time you told me that's kind of an average day, sometimes a lot more, sometimes a little bit less. So you're literally buying like 1,000 coins a day.
Some days, I mean, not every day, but I joke, it's kind of like Christmas. I get packages, as I've been longer and longer at Heritage, people would not even tell me they're sending a package. So like today, I'm here in Long Beach all week at the show, and I'll get back and there'll be 20 or 25 packages that people have sent, while I was at the show, and so I have to go through all that. So it's it's fun. You never know what you're going to get.
And you have a great team to help you. Like, it's all unpacked. It's not like you have to take out your pocket knife and cut open the package. It's like laid out, sorted for you with whose it is, and you just go to work and you just put prices on it. Huh?
Yep.
Wow, that's cool. That's fun.
It is. So now
different than sorting wheat cents at the coin shop when you were a kid that your dad owned, right?
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
At the highest level now.
Yep. So I guess now about 2004, I'd done all these different things. Buying, selling, editing the magazine. In 2004, they made me the vice president of the wholesale department. So
that's a big deal. A lot of responsibility,
which was fun. So then, I price all the inventory now, buy probably $2 to $4 million a month in coins.
Wait a second, you buy $2 to $4 million a month in coins. I'm not very good at math, but I would say that's about $36 million a year. You're buying $36 million a year
Probably
in coins.
25 to 30, somewhere in there.
That is insane.
Yeah, so
That is a lot of coins.
yeah, at a big show I'll spend over $1 million.
Wow.
But
What's the average price range of these coins?
well, that's
How little does it get, and then kind of, how big can it get sometimes?
I mean, again, Heritage is, got the machine. We have to keep feeding
Yeah,
the weekly internet auctions, the big auctions,
Right.
our inventory. So I'm buying coins literally $100 to hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I see, wow.
Everything in between. So I've kind of developed myself as like the specialist in all the weird stuff. So patterns, colonials, territorials, Hawaiian coinage, California fractional gold. That's the neat thing is I developed that niche for myself, which made me more valuable to be the go-to guy for errors or for patterns, and that being able to buy anything that somebody walks up to me with is very important.
All right, wow. So, I also, folks know I have a little coin shop in San Francisco. I also spend a lot of my time pricing coins. Nothing nearly to the extent that you do, but 50, 100 coins a day. So I always feel like I have a very good handle on the coin market. And, I'm always open-minded. I'm wrong many, many times, but, I feel like I got a handle on it. But you're pricing such quantity for 30 years now is in the wholesale department. Like you're you are the foremost expert on pricing. I'm sure there's like a very small club of people that knows what a coin is worth.
I'm definitely the value guy. So I work with our auction company a lot, and all these big collections that you see us auctioning, I'm the behind the scenes guy. Like the Bass sale here, I figure out what coins are worth, give them auction estimates, help collectors that want to buy them. Sometimes we have to offer guarantees on things, and I'm the guy that usually says yes or no. The bosses will say,
The shot caller.
Yeah, they'll say, this guy wants a $4 million guarantee, and I have to be the one that says,
It's a lot of responsibility.
Regardless of what these coins sell for, we will pay him $4 million.
Right. Okay.
And it's a risk, but I'm usually right. Like I'm pretty good at it. So.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
So there's going to be thousands of collectors that are going to watch this video, and a lot of dealers too, of all experience levels. A very common question that I get all the time is, how do you know what to pay for a coin? So you have a coin in front of you. What's your process? What goes through your brain?
Well, first I look at the coin itself to see, is it attractive? Is it ugly? Kind of size up the look of it.
Yeah, there's different qualities of coins within the same grade.
Right.
Some are prettier than others.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then the great thing again, the technology at Heritage. So we've got a program that has everything all consolidated in one place. We've got gray sheet, blue sheet, coin world trends, collectors universe, populations, CAC populations. All the CCE. And
so all the
bids.
organizations that put prices on coins, suggest prices, all the like PCGS population report, which lets people know how many they've graded of that coin in that grade. So basically it's an aggregator. You have all this information and your auction record results and all that. So that's a lot of information.
Private sales, auction sales. So I can literally scan the barcode of the coin and it pops up everything I want to know about it. Wow. And so I can look and see what we've sold coins for, what we've sold coins at auction for, if we have some in inventory. And I pretty quickly can, say like, this coin's worth X based on, this auction sale, this retail sale, this price guide value, the population compared to another coin. So I'm doing all these calculations in my head pretty quickly, and it's very efficient. I can buy, that's how I can buy thousands of coins at a show like this.
Okay. So there's on many coins, most coins, there's dozens of variables that you quickly rifle through those and come up with a number. Your gut, your experience. It's a little Rain Man like, how he drops the toothpicks and he counts them. You look at all this data, like, okay, this coin's worth $300. Right, okay.
And the thing I always tell people is, don't be afraid to make mistakes. If you're buying, if you decide to be a coin dealer, that's how you learn. So I don't want to make money on every single coin, or I'm not buying enough coins. So I kind of shoot for, make money on maybe 7 out of 10, break even on 1 out of 10, lose on 2 out of 10.
Wait a second, the great Jim Stoutjesdyk actually loses money on 2 out of 10 coins. Really?
Yeah.
Like you're just wrong, but you get better though, right?
Right, because you got to take risks and try. I buy a lot of really esoteric things, and some of them I'm wrong, but I learned from that, and I just keep it lets you buy more and more coins. So I'm able to ramp up the volume and keep good tabs on how I'm doing. But if that bottom line is still really good, where I'm batting 80% correct or breaking even on a couple, maybe just losing out a little bit, that's my formula.
I see. So how quickly do you realize you were wrong? Does it mean it's just sitting around for a couple months? Do you have this arbitrary like line?
Yeah. Well, as I price all of our inventory, and I'll go through and lower things, and so about every month or two, I'll just lower coins until they sell. And sometimes I'll lower them below cost until they finally sell.
I got you. So you kind of get a little flavor. After a month or two, if it's still sitting around, you'll lower it. If it doesn't sell, then you'll kind of lower it again. But after like 3-4 months, the coin's gone.
Right, or I may just bail on it and throw it in the auction unreserved and let it fly.
Let it rip, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
And take your losses. And important thing Jim Halpern taught me a long time ago: if you make a mistake, get rid of it immediately. Like if you like, I'll get home from this show. We're at Long Beach right now, and I'll be going through all the coins I bought, and I'll look at maybe a few out of 1,000, and just, man, I blew it on this one. I'll just get rid of it. I'll just sell it, and you just don't want to keep that around. Just,
right. It's a head thing too. You you made the mistake right then and there. Just get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
So the things that collectors could learn is, look at the population data of the coin. Look at all the auction records. Heritage has an auction database that's millions and millions of coins. There's information that's out there, folks, that you could utilize to help feel. And obviously talk to people like Jim. Talk to your local coin dealer, and they're usually pretty experienced on pricing too as well. And it all comes together. I think the whole thing is there's no exact price. It's not like the stock market. It's not like you can go out and buy a stock, for this. But it's coins, a little bit of nuances, a little bit of variances, and it starts with the coin. Not all. Again, you could have we could have 10 PCGS graded MS65 1880S dollars. I guarantee you there's a couple in there that you and I'd be like, those two are the best out of the 10. So that coin's worth a little bit more, it just is. So yeah, interesting. So yeah, this is a good way for people to help learn. Now, buying, you just, lessons are you cut your losses short, you kind of move on, you're gonna make mistakes, and a superhero like you still messes up 20% of the time.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
I'd say so, because if I'm making money on every coin, I'm not being aggressive enough. I'm being too conservative. I'm not buying enough coins.
Right.
So
when you kind of have a bad month, is Jim Halpern say, "Hey, Jimmy, what's going on here? You got to work extra hard now, right? You were at 21% losses this month."
No, they really. Occasionally they'll say something, and I'll just explain like, "Oh, this was, somebody was offering me a bunch of California fractional gold here at the show, and I told him what I'd pay, and he said, "Wow, I didn't expect you to say that." And I go, "Well, yeah." The more esoteric coins you have to build in a little bit more because, the market's not so,
The more liquid the item is, the more you pay for it, and the kind of less you sell it for. Yeah, I get it.
Yep.
Because you got to carry it. I think a lot of people get a kick out of this. What's interesting is you really know how you're doing when you make a decision. People can talk about coin grading all day long, but the minute you submit a coin for grading, write down what you think the grade is going to be. You hold yourself accountable. And so he holds himself accountable, with his checkbook. You figure out how well you're doing by how you're making money buying and selling coins. But you also love it. And I remember you telling me about you and Jim Halpern, some of the big coins and like some of the big sales that pop up. You guys will kind of have a little game of guessing what it'll sell for, which I totally relate to. I mean, that's where the coin nerds come out. It's like, hey, what's this $1804 going to go? Well, I tell you what, it's going to go this. No, I say this. I bet you $1. It's not.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's just fun, right? It's just fun. But write it down. You write it down. Hold yourself accountable. That's how you learn. Versus being very general and stuff. Yeah. So, let's talk about like life at Heritage, okay? It's like, it's a monstrous place. I've been out to your office. It is, how many square feet is the Heritage building?
140,000 or 170,000 square feet or something.
170,000 square feet. That is just monstrous.
It's like, it feels like it's a quarter mile long, and it takes 10 or 15 minutes to walk around the building. It's pretty big.
Wow. But it must be great to like, you work around all these people. Some of them you've seen blossom within the company. Some of them were your interns or you train them and to see them grow. But you have all these resources around you, like, hey, I need some help with a price on this or a grade on this.
It's really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of my friends who are like single owner guys, and it's like they're doing their own shipping. They're going to the bank every day. They're, I forget, like I have people that, send coins to grading, that send, the checks down to accounting, that open my packages, that do all this stuff. And
some coin dealers that work out of their house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they, they're doing everything themselves. They're going to the bank every day, making deposits, sending coins to grading.
Yeah.
you know, and I forget that I have people that do all that for me, that,
Right.
you know, open my packages even and all that kind of stuff. So.
That's really cool. So it's a lot of responsibility what you have, a lot.
Yeah, and I'm helping the auction company too. So, you know, in addition to all this buying and selling, and and I still manage to sell a couple $1 million a year in coins without even trying. Like
Promotion and a raise to all the board of directors over at Heritage, all right? Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, there's all my buddies that need stuff, and, you know, like I'm always selling things on the side, just kind of, you know, while I'm buying coins, and, you know, so it's a juggling act. I mean, every day I'm prioritizing, you know, what to do, and, you know, what's important to get done first, and so it's always different every day.
So we're going to talk about a special product that Jim has done his kind of entire life, which is helping out young numismatists. You were once a young numismatist. You were a young numismatist of the year over at the ANA, and you've always kind of given back. You know, you've had I think one of your claims to fame is you've had some of the highest level people in the coin business with your intern at one point. Why don't you name off a couple people?
Well, the past president of PCGS, Brett Charville, was one of my interns.
Okay, hey Brett, how you doing? yeah.
John Brush, who now owns David Lawrence Rare Coins, he was one of our interns. And, so yeah, I've had a pretty good track record.
Do you still ask them to get your coffee and stuff when you see them? Yeah. Hey Brett, 2 sugars, all right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's always great giving back. Which kind of leads into kind of your activities the last couple of years, and also what you've done at the ANA. But you know, tell us about like how you give back personally to the hobby.
Well, I guess probably for at least 10 or 12 years, I've taught at the ANA Summer Seminar every year.
Yeah.
So I like the beginner grading class. That to me is the most important. Okay. So we get a bunch of people that, you know, some of them know a little bit about grading, some of them don't have a clue, and we just spend a week and teach them all the fundamentals, go over, you know, everything from lighting and magnifying glasses, and how to hold coins and look at them properly, and go through the PCGS photo grade pictures, and show them, you know, step by step how coins, you know, where the high points are. And then
sounds like a great class for most collectors to be able to take.
It's really
grading is challenging in the beginning. It really is. It always is, but in the beginning, it's really tough.
And then, you know, towards the end of the class, the last couple of days, we're looking at real coins, passing them around, having grading tests, and you know, the great thing for me is I see the light bulb go on. You know, like the people that were struggling, that couldn't figure out if it's got wear, and then towards the end of the class, they're like, "Wow, I get this."
It's like us. That's what happened to us. I remember it's like, wow, so much happened. You're around coins for 50 hours straight. Having somebody teach you, that's really awesome.
And then you with Witter Coin University, I mean, what a great thing. I mean, I was very honored when you picked me to be one of the instructors. And
hello. I was very honored that you agreed to do it. It was great.
It's a blast. I mean, having just knowing that there's all these YNs that are out there that you know, it gives me hope for the future.
Yeah, you know, the folks, those of you that are young numismatists out there, we highly encourage you to apply to get a scholarship to the ANA Summer Seminar every July, is it?
July.
Yeah, every July. It's a great thing.
End of June, early July.
It's a great thing, and also they have spots available for the adults. You got to pay your own way though, but it's a great program, and you could be honored to have somebody like Jim as your instructor. That would be outstanding. But yeah, just, you know, with Witter Coin U, I mean, it was obvious that, you know, knowing what you've done for YNs over the years, and, you know, I have very little to do with it. It's all about the team and everyone else. I like to be kind of behind the scenes and low key.
You have a lot to do with it. You're the one that gets all the students, and
it's easy. Yeah. It's you know, you guys do the heavy lifting though, but you know, it was interesting to see you and Devin do the kind of the advanced category this year. You know, where you taught a lot about the coin business. I could, you know, at Witter Coin U, I would spend a lot of time with the YNs at the coin shop to show them how the coin shop worked. But I remember sitting in there and watching you explaining the tiers of a wholesale business and all that. I was blown away. I didn't want to leave. I was learning things. I was like, God, I don't want to leave. It was really great, and they all sucked it up, right?
Oh yeah,
they loved it.
You know, I learned stuff every year. I go to the summer seminar or at Witter. You know, like you get guys like John Danruther that come in, and like I learn stuff constantly. So that's really important. Just you know, learning as much as you can, constantly keeping yourself, you know, updated on the latest you know, stuff, and it's
shocking that we do it to give, we do it to share, and to help, especially young numismatists, because that was us. But then from a greedy perspective, you get a lot out of it too. Like I noticed that, that week that you're there, you're like, you think about the hobby differently. You think about the coin business differently, which, you and I are both in the coin business. That definitely contributes in terms of how we approach things just by watching, young minds ask great questions. They really, really do. Like the questions that adults don't normally ask.
And they're not jaded. Like the young kids, they don't have all these preconceived ideas. And, we always get, one guy who thinks he's graded coins for longer than I've been alive. One of those kind of things. But, the kids are just open-minded. They're eager to learn. They listen. And they suck it up like a sponge.
Yeah, versus adults ruin it. You guys can ruin it sometimes. No, when I bought that coin, you don't understand, Jimmy.
If that buffalo doesn't have a full horn, it can't be uncirculated.
Yeah, exactly. But you're there, you're still teaching people, but it slows it down. And with kids, what we've noticed is, when you teach a subject, you like to kind of move fast. And kids, like, they suck it in and next. So it's almost like you can't keep up with them.
Yeah.
So it's great. You can cover a lot of material. I think one thing that's also is how, Witter Coin University recognized what Jim does for young numismatists. We are giving out this annual award, which was given out the first time this year. We named it the Jim Stoutjesdyk MVN Award, the most valuable numismatist award that is awarded to the outstanding young numismatist at Witter Coin University that demonstrates sharing knowledge. That's just like an ideal person. Not to say that everybody doesn't have that same standard, but they're a true leader and a role model. And so we named it after you.
I was really honored.
Of course, yeah.
You got me all choked up when you surprised me.
Yeah, you got us all. I think we all choked up.
Yeah,
we all. I think all 6, 7 of the instructors, we all cried. But it's just fun. It's so much fun giving back and seeing. The thing that I hope that happens is that everyone sees what we do and how we give back to the hobby. If everybody out there with just a little bit of resource, a little bit of time, pick your own idea and do something for the hobby, give back in some form, especially young numismatists, it feels really good. Yep. And we can make such an impact with very little of our time. It's amazing. Yeah, it's really a lot of fun. Yeah. So this leads into, you have so much experience. You've been doing this for so long. If there's some younger people out there, or young adults, younger kids who want to be coin dealers, I noticed a lot. One thing we were surprised at Witter Coin U, 3/4 of the kids wanted to be coin dealers. Versus you and I at the ANA Summer Seminar, I felt it was like 10%.
Oh yeah,
it was a lot less. So what would you, for any of the young adult or young numismatists out there who want to be a coin dealer, explain a little path to them on how they can kind of achieve those goals? What's a good way to go?
I think finding a mentor is very important. So. Going to work at a local coin show or coin shop, making friends with people at your coin club, you can learn a tremendous amount. And most adults really want to help kids and help them learn. And if you find a local dealer that you can start, going into a shop and make friends with, and that could be somebody that can really take you under their wing and help you, teach you about the coin business. And so that's pretty important, I think.
Yeah. I mean, you just got to go in there and say, hey, I'm 13 years old. Hey, I'm 22 years old. I'm thinking about becoming a coin dealer. I'll work here for free. I'll do it as you want me. Can you teach me? Just keep it really simple. And I think you'll have a good shot. And, maybe if you could always reach out to Jim or I, if there's we may know coin dealers in your area that we can kind of hook you up with and introduce. But yeah,
absolutely.
I think the mentorship game is a very big deal. I think it's kind of a lost art.
It really is.
It's critical, especially in the coin business.
I had mentors, and that helped me tremendously, learning the business, and it is tremendously important.
Yeah, it's amazing how big the hobby is. It's much bigger than I think what even you and I think, and it's growing by leaps and bounds. And there's going to be this huge generational shift that's about to take place in coins. Because most of the people who are kind of leading the coin business are respectfully a little bit older. And, there's definitely a lot more kids in the game now than ever before.
Well, the crazy thing at Witter Coin University, I got to really, interact with these kids, and they're doing all this business on Instagram and Facebook, and that's a whole new game. All the old school guys have no clue that these kids are, on Instagram and buying and selling, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, the teacher's getting taught.
Exactly.
yeah, it's interesting. And what's also interesting is you've worked with thousands of collectors over your career, and some you still even worked with today that you helped them build collections over 30 years. So to collectors out there that are new or trying to figure it all out, it's very confusing trying to build a collection at first. But what advice would you give to somebody, after they dip their toe in the water a little bit, how they go to the next level? What advice would you give to collectors out there?
As far as
how to grow, how to learn, what to collect. I mean, what would you suggest?
Knowledge is absolutely the key. So buy the books. There's lots of information on the internet now. You can never get enough knowledge. If you're going to start collecting something, you're going to want to learn everything you can about it and talk to other collectors, network. That's the best thing, is just immerse yourself in what you like. And sometimes we're in specialty clubs. If you collect certain series, there might be a club for other people like yourself that collect bust halves or early copper. And that's invaluable. You can go to the big conventions, and they'll have meetings, for people that collect tone coins or commemoratives, or and just interact with the other collectors, build bonds with them, learn from them, share your information, and that's to me the best way to just become totally immersed in what you're doing.
Yeah, just get out there, talk to other people with the same interest. Yeah. That's good, because you're always, you worked with a lot of advanced collectors too, and everyone's always pursuing more knowledge. It's almost like, I always equate coin collecting to like a puzzle that never really gets fully solved.
Yeah.
You just kind of keep going and keep going and keep going. Yeah, that's cool. So tell us about, some of the coins that you like. Do you have a collection? Do you collect? Is there, like, if you were to go grand and big, what would you collect? Tell us about what you like.
One of my favorite coins that I've always liked is a $1794.
Okay.
I just think that's such a important, part of history, part of, the dollar rules the world now.
Yeah.
The dollar's like the world currency, and that $1794, whenever I handle one, it's special.
Yeah, it's the first dollar. How many have you handled, bought and sold in your career?
Probably 5 or 6.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
The 1792 half Disney.
Sure.
That's another one that I like the whole story. Did Martha Washington really give her silverware to make that coin?
Right.
It's just neat, like these things that have a lot of history to them.
Sure.
I've put different collections together over the years, and usually I'll build something and then sell it, and then build something else. It's just kind of fun. I put together Shield nickel set in Mint State, Liberty nickel set, 3-cent nickels, 2-cent pieces in 65 red brown. There's all these different little series that I like, and I'll put a set together and then sell it, and then start with something else.
And your tastes change over time.
Yeah.
It's like one year you like this type of wine, a couple years later your tastes are different, or you like wearing red shirts, blue shirts, or the kind of car you drive. Yeah.
So, it's hard because I'm buying coins all the time, to want to save stuff, but I think I've kind of always liked tokens and metals and exonumia, because that's kind of outside the realm of what I'm dealing in day to day. So, I can buy cool exonumia or colonial coins.
Undiscovered is kind of like new territory too as well.
Yeah. So that's I'm always a collector at heart. I'll always be.
Right. So you're handling all these great coins like all the time. Proof $20 Liberties, $1804. Does it ever get old?
It really doesn't.
Yeah.
I get excited about coins, and I see all these great rarities all the time, and I appreciate what they are. Like, it's funny because, a regular proof Barber dime or something, it's like I just handle so many of them, and some of these YNs are like, oh wow, a proof Barber dime, it's really like I don't forget my roots, I guess.
Yeah. I'm sure you see like the perfect proof 63, and you're like, what, if I was a kid, or I would recommend this to somebody to try to figure it all out. Yeah. It's always about that special coin for what it is. They're out there, and the more you learn and train your eye, you'll find them.
Yep.
Yeah. So you travel to a lot of coin shows too.
I do. Yeah, I still probably do 20 shows a year.
That's a lot of shows. Yeah. Wow.
So all the big, Central States, Long Beach, Fun, A&A. Got to remember to go to the Michigan State Coin Show, where I grew up. So that's really fun. I go to that show, and I'm kind of like a celebrity because I'm the the hometown boy done good.
It's good. It feels good. A lot of your original mentors are there. Some of them. Yeah, that's cool.
And these guys are old now. They were when I was a kid they were 40. And you're like, wow, this guy's old. He's 40. Now they're 80. And they're still there.
Yeah.
And and they all save coins for me, which is great. Like they'll and they call me Jimmy. It's really funny because when I was a kid, everybody called me, like, hey Jimmy, I've got a whole box of coins I've saved for you.
Right.
So it's fun. I'll go back in November to the Michigan State Show and see all my old dealer friends and my family.
Yeah. So is that your favorite thing about going to coin shows, is seeing the people?
It is. Yep.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add?
I just think this is a great industry. We're so lucky. This is it's just a dream job to have. My daughter, when she was little, she used to say, "Daddy, what are you going to be when you grow up?"
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're very, very fortunate. You're having a really good time with it. But it's been fun having you on, buddy. You know,
Thanks.
we've wanted to do it a long time. So yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Slab Lab, one of my favorites. So we had fun. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.